An opponent like this should be easy. Now you'll learn!
I'll heal you all!
I'm going in!
Healing circle!
The earth throbs with pain. An astral art?
That's my cue!
Shut him down! Here I come!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Not today!
Tiger Blade! Inferno Crossbow!
Totally! In an instant! Impact block!
Mega Ray! Annihilation! Into the shadows! Glacial Thunder! Hurricane
Demon Fang!
Lightning! Dance! I never miss! Do it!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! I wonder if we can make new weapons with this.
What the? When did it get pitch dark all of a sudden?
The lights are all out. Think it has something to do with the explosion back in the Forbidden Zone? Doe?
You two. Faria, Avakir. Thank goodness you're safe.
Avakir filled me in about everything. About how I ambushed you all.
She doesn't remember a thing, so she really was being controlled.
He told me about Tarnigan, too. Is it true?
What difference does it make? What's done is done.
Stop casting me off, just for once!
Faria, not now. It can wait. Dohalim, Lenegus is in grave peril.
So I can see.
It's the city's core reactor. It's damaged. Some of the basic systems we've managed to keep online, but complete restoration's still a way off.
You're an elite technician, though. You can fix it, right?
If so, then what's the problem?
Panic's begun to set in among the citizens. Until now, whenever something like this happened, the Sovereign would issue a decree. But this time, not so much as a peep. Any longer, and we run the risk of riots breaking out before we can get things back up and running.
Forget the Sovereign. I doubt you'll be hearing from him anytime soon.
What's that supposed to mean? Do you know something I don't?
Suffice it to say, the Sovereign isn't the kind of ruler we thought he was. That is, if he ever even existed, which is looking doubtful at this stage.
Are you out of your mind? Why, if people knew that a lord such as yourself was whispering such blasphemy, they'd...
There's no time to explain now.
It sounds like we need to find a way to keep Lenegis from spiraling out of control.
We need to stop that riot.
But how do we do that?
Riots feed on discontent and unrest, right? So if we want to keep the peace, we just need to put people's minds at ease.
At ease? Like by letting them hear directly from someone they trust. That's it. Who's the highest-ranking person in Lenegis right now?
Lenegis wouldn't have a next in line. After all, you said the Sovereign rules over everyone directly, right?
Correct. The closest thing to an authority figure would be a lord, and the only one left is... Ah, very well then. Avakir, you mentioned a few facilities were still online. Which ones?
Why hasn't the Sovereign said anything?
Please, won't somebody explain what's going on?
Is it over? What's going to happen to all of us?
Heed me now, fellow Renans of Lenegis. It is I, Lord Dohalim Ilkaris of Elda Menancia.
Look, up there! It's Lord Dohalim!
Hold on! He should be in the crown contest! Shouldn't he? Why isn't the Sovereign talking to us?
The Sovereign is seeing to other matters right now. In my capacity as Lord, I speak to you in his stead. You're afraid, as people so often are when faced with the unknown. I hope you'll allow me to put your fears to rest. The city's core reactor has experienced a malfunction. However, we have our top engineers attending to the matter, and things will soon be back to normal. I know that you feel abandoned, perhaps more scared and alone than ever before. But I ask you all to keep one thing in mind. You are Lenegis, not the Lords and Sovereign. The solidarity of its citizens is the mortar that holds it together. If we don't allow ourselves to be distracted by our differences, if we put our hearts and minds together and stand as one, I am confident we will find new hope. I would be honored to stand with you. Not as a person of loftier rank, but as another human being among many. I hope that you'll lend me your strength, for if we can persevere as one, I know a bright tomorrow awaits.
Your speech seems to have done the trick. Looks like the city won't be descending into chaos after all.
I only pray the relief will tide the city over for the time being.
What you said earlier, about the Sovereign possibly not even existing, was it true?
It's still too premature to say with any certainty, but I believe so. This whole time, this world we've been fed was a lie, built on nothing but falsehoods.
But it can't all have been...
I can believe it. After everything I saw in the Forbidden Zone, what they did to Faria, it's the only explanation that makes sense.
But what about hierarchy, Avakir? Authority? The very foundations of Renan society? How can we live without someone to guide us?
I'd say we found someone capable of doing just that, wouldn't you?
You? You can't be serious.
I have business I must take care of first. But once everything is over, I shall return. But not as your sovereign, nor as a leader the likes of which the people here are used to, I think.
But how else do you propose to rule?
I'm not sure yet. All I have is a feeling that here in Lenegis, a new dawn is on the verge of breaking. One in which people won't be judged by birthright or on the power of their astral arts, but on other things. More important things. Things like, oh, I don't know, musical talent, for example.
When I bumped into you after all those years, I said you were no different. But I was wrong. Truth is, you were always different. I feel like maybe now I can finally begin to accept Turnagain's death. To see a future.
You go finish whatever it is you've got to do. I'll hold down the fort here in Lenegis till you get back.
Thank you.
I guess you're not going to make it to Menancia for the foreseeable future, huh?
Indeed. Forgive me.
The people of Elda Menancia can look after themselves just fine. It's the ones here on Lenegis who need someone to guide them. Besides, with you leading the people here, it'll help spread the idea of coexistence beyond Menancia's borders that much faster.
Sounds like you're in it for the long haul.
How could I not be, after the second chance that I've been granted? From this day forth, I shall dedicate myself to the future inhabitants of this world. Though the memories of the departed shall remain forever in my heart.
Remember, you're going to be leading the people here, not ruling them.
True enough. Whatever would I do without you, Kisara?
With or without her, I suspect you're gonna have your hands full when the time comes. We should be heading back to the ship. Business on Rena awaits. Looks like the people of Lenegis can rest easy.
I couldn't have done it without your words of encouragement, Law.
Hey, you're the one who made the speech.
I think everybody can share the credit here.
In one sense, when all is said,
You, a Renan lord.
I was complicit in the Renan system. Bound, and when I realized the severity of a lord. And yet my first instinct...
I think I can relate. I couldn't stand watching my people bow and scrape. The ability to think for yourself and be your own master. That's what separates us. Zephyr taught me how to fight.
Even if it means stumbling along the way. Or, to put it another way, so long... This Zephyr character sounds like he was a wise man.
There's just so much I wish I could ask him.
How long have...
Known what?
About the darkness I carry inside me.
Why ask me now? But... yes, I have.
So basically since the very start of our journey, then.
Leave the past where it belongs. If my brother could see you... well then, just as well it's not a
Kisara? Among other things. To be in
You were thinking about Dohalim.
I was just thinking how good it is to see him. It was always so infuriating, knowing how capable he could be if he just put... But now, he's finally...
So...
Oh, I don't know if I'd say sad. There's a bittersweetness to it, I get. It probably sounds weird, doesn't it? I have this massive worry off my mind.
Must be that maternal instinct of you.
Rinwell's right. You're like a mother bird, finally letting go as her...
A pretty big child.
That's one... All this has made me realize, if Dohalim can forge his own path...
thought we'd find answers on Lenegis, but we just ended up finding more questions.
You can say that again. And now we have more problems to fix too. Like figuring out how to reform Lenegis.
That can wait for now. We've got more than enough on our plates to deal with as it is. Like figuring out who's really running the show on Rena.
Yeah. Which is why we're going to the Renan homeworld.
All the answers we've been looking for are on that planet. The person responsible for all this. The Red Woman and the Renaissama. The answers have to be there. Are we prepared to finally find them?
So, what do we do first when we get there?
We know nothing about the Renan homeworld or what we might face once we arrive. We should get a feel for how things are on the ground before we take any serious steps.
It's also entirely possible that the first thing we're going to face is an attack.
If we come across a capital, we should... What? Damn! The hell just happened?
Our course has been altered. The coordinates are pointing to a different destination.
What's that?
The ship's controls aren't accepting my commands. The engine is being shut down.
That's bad, right?
Quite bad. We've lost control of the ship.
Is all of this the Red Women's doing?
Are they trying to finish us off before we can land?
Everyone! Look there!
A flower blooming out of Rena?
But that flower looks like it's absorbing all of Dana's energy.
And it appears Lenegis is serving as a conduit for that energy to reach here. Could that have been its true purpose all along?
If that's true, do you think the people back on Lenegis are all right?
We can only pray that they are.
Damn it! Haven't they taken enough already? When is this going to end?
Flower of Oblivion.
With everything that's happening, we need to get back to Lenegis. Is the ship still offline?
Unfortunately, yes. Even more so than when it lay dormant.
Can you fix it?
Starships are extremely complex machines. One wrong move while we're out here in space could very well cost us our lives.
So what? We're just stuck inside here, floating around? For how long?
I don't believe this. We've made it all this way, and now we're stuck here? We're watching Dana die before our eyes, and we have no choice but to sit here and starve to death?
Law, calm down! You're not the only one who's worried here.
Right. Sorry.
It's still too early to give up. There has to be a way to get out of this.
Alphen.
Now what?
The starship, it's back online?
No, this is different. Something is pulling our ship in towards it.
We managed to get moving, but where are we?
It looks like Lenegis in here.
Do you think we might run into more Renans here? Or those red women?
Perhaps. Someone brought us here. The question is, who?
We haven't been ambushed, so that probably means they aren't hostile. Still, why would anyone want to bring us here?
Hey, Shion!
If they wanted to attack us, they could have done so while we were back on the starship. We should see where this path takes us.
Shion!
No!
What the?
No, I'm the one.
Again, Law? Can't you?
Seriously, it's fine. Besides, I'm the one who should be vigilant about.
Actually, I've been meaning to ask.
I guess I never really thought about it. Before long, it was just part of my everyday. Which isn't to say I didn't feel alone. I did.
So numb to your reality.
It's fine.
But I can't even touch you.
I appreciate the until I get rid of these thorns. I guess I'll have to put up with it just a little. Maybe it'll be soon. Maybe it won't be. But
yeah, just hang in there. One day, we'll share a big warm hug. You'll see. I promise. Boo!
Ah! What the? Are you out of your mind? This isn't the time for games, Rinwell.
Oh, come on. How am I supposed to resist with you looking all jittery like that?
It's called experiencing feelings appropriate to the situation. You ought to try it sometime.
Yeah, but seeing you act all nervous.
Oh.
Staying alert is important, but too much caution can cloud your...
I still can't get over what we saw happening outside.
Yeah, our planet's really not.
I've only ever seen Rena from the surface of Dana. Still, though, I never would have imagined Rena.
Beats me. I have absolutely no clue. It's so surreal.
Rena and Dana. But to think that they lied to us, not only about...
Dohalim.
Okay, who's the wise guy? That beam of light joining Dana and Rena.
That's what it looked like.
Perhaps it was some kind of directive from the...
Which would mean that whoever's behind all this is on Rena after all.
Try to stay calm. With so many factors we don't understand. What is it?
No, it's just... So much for me making
You made it this far, didn't you? Notice something, you change it. That's all anyone...
This place looks a lot like that room we saw back in the Forbidden Zone.
Huh? What's that? It's one of those!
A red woman in disguise. Or is this their true form?
So it was a trap?
It doesn't look like it can move. Tell me, are you the one who brought us here?
That is correct. It is unusual for me to have unexpected guests these days.
It can talk!
What are you?
Hevrect 35.
Hevrect 35. Is that your name?
Correct.
What is this place? No, wait, before that, just what exactly are you? Are you somehow associated with the Red Women?
Before I answer, I have a question for you. How did you all arrive in this sector?
We did not come to this place by choice. Our ship was brought here against our will, by a group of red women who can shift into the same form as you.
In that case, we can assume my brethren who serve the Great Spirit have deemed you all to be a threat most grave.
What do you mean, serve? Are you saying there really is someone more powerful than the Red Women, pulling their strings?
What did you do to us?
I examined your bodies. You have not been harmed in any way. Identifiers detected. The Sovereign and Maiden are among you. However, you aren't under its control. I see why they viewed you as a danger now.
Oh goody, more riddles.
Do you think we can trust this thing?
Like it or not, it may be our best chance at a ticket out of here. Let's at least hear it out.
I shall now answer your questions. We are Helganquil. The red women you encountered previously are a form of disguise we employ from time to time, but not our true form.
Helganquil?
You are on Dake Phasol, a celestial base which drifted here by accident. The will of Rena's great spirit no longer reaches us here. Since my sudden separation from the Great Spirit's influence, I have used any and all means to extend my lifespan. As I have done so, I have also set out to monitor and research Rena and Dana from this position.
A question. What is this Great Spirit of which you speak? Is it something that rules over your kind?
Correct. The Great Astral Spirit is a large mass of astral energy that fills all of Rena, one with its own will.
A voice?
The voice of the Great Spirit speaks to our hearts directly, and we have...
Does that mean it was controlling your minds?
The true ruler of Rena.
Wait, back up. You're telling us this Great Spirit... I'm not sure I believe...
Why not? We've already made contact with the will of Dana back in the Wedge, and in the Forbidden Zone on Lennigan.
Maybe not, but think about what you're saying. If Dana has a will like Rena, then that would mean that we've been...
Dana's will hasn't been forcing us to do any...
Yeah, but...
Let's assume that what Hevrect 35 claims is true, even if we had previously been under the control of Dana's will.
Your fear is not based in logic. The voice of Dana is much smaller. Rena's astral energy is amassed at its center. So thinly is that energy spread that it cannot coalesce and formulate.
Which explains why we felt its will where we did.
The Great Spirit's desire is to consume all astral energy. As a result,
Is that why the crown contest is necessary?
indeed. And it was to that end that we had the initial spirit channeling from 300 years ago.
But the ceremony failed. Lenegus was severely damaged.
Correct. A change in plan was required to ensure that. That is why we turned to Dana.
So that was the real purpose behind the crown contest.
This is all happening.
Nevertheless, you still haven't answered one.
First, it was to confirm the.
A request?
I wish for you all to.
I'm sorry, did you?
I did.
What makes you say that?
Lenegus has entered as we speak. If nothing is done about the Great.
You're saying the destruction we saw earlier?
We won't let that happen.
Why do you want us to kill the Great Spirit so badly?
No. My primary. As such, it is my.
Vengeance?
In spite of our long service to the Great Spirit.
You mean?
At this stage, it would be wise for you to ask them what you need to know. Once you have.
Others?
I am the only Helganquil who inhabits Dake.
Hey!
It's no use. I think it's done talking.